Over the past several years, I've done a thorough study of many of the instructional design theories and a lot of the research on instruction out there, and from that we've tried to extract these first principles. And while there are lots of details of these principles, the things that make the most difference are really simple. First of all, we need to show people what we're trying to teach them instead of just tell them. So much instruction is tell, and we don't show them what to do. Second, we need to give students an opportunity to practice what they've learned, and that doesn't mean just to answer multiple choice questions, which we often refer to as ask what they've learned or remember, but it means to do, to get them involved in classifying instances, or get them involved in actually carrying out a procedure, or getting them involved in making predictions or troubleshooting in more complex tasks. And so consequently, much of what's called practice is not practice at all. It's not really application. And finally, students, we have all kinds of talk of motivation. People have indicated that motivation is perhaps the most important thing of all. Some people have said if students are motivated, we don't have much else to do. Well, this is just plain not true. If you lead a horse to an empty well, they're still going to die of thirst if there isn't water in it. And we can motivate students to pieces, and if there isn't substance and we have violated other principles in the instruction, they're still not going to learn. In fact, we often have a false concept of what motivation is. We think motivation comes from animation and games and edutainment, when in fact these are maybe attention-getting, but real motivation comes from learning. Real motivation comes when students are able to do something they weren't able to do before. And real learning takes place when we implement basic principles of instruction. And those basic principles include at least demonstrating what you're going to learn, having the student actually do what they're learning, and doing this in the context of a real-world problem. The best motivation of all is for students to be able to learn some real-world task. And I guarantee you that answering multiple choice questions is not a real-world task. So students want to be able to do things. They take courses because they'd like to be able to do things. They'd like to be able to do something they couldn't do before. If we can identify what that is, and we can present that as the very first part of our instruction and say at the end of this course, at the end of this module, you'll be able to do this task, or you'll be able to make these predictions, or you'll be able to perform in some way, and then show them what they need to do in order to complete that whole task or perform in that way, their motivation is going to be greatly increased. So in summary, it just seems to me that there are three very essential things that I think everyone knows, but we don't seem to do it very much in our instruction. And that is, we need to demonstrate what's going to be learned, we need to give students a chance to apply what they're going to learn, and we need to do that in the context of real-world problems.